Come on.
That's Kevin.
And we're implicitly biased.
All right. So, this one. Should there be a law where someone who knowingly and falsely accuses someone else of doing something should be liable or get the same amount of punishment or penalty as the person or what they were trying to accuse the person of?
Absolutely.
For instance, if a woman accuses you of rape just because you're a big burly guy and you're scary and you got the beard and everything, should that woman get whatever the penalty they were going to give to you? Should she get that penalty?
Absolutely. Especially we keep finding out more and more that it's happened over the years, and dudes have been locked up for a long time.
Locked up.
And then they get proven innocent.
Right.
And what do they do to the lady that did it? Nothing. She ruined this dude's life, and now there's no repercussion for it.
Nothing. Except for, the thing of it is sometimes the women kind of stick to their guns, which I'm like, it's been proven that wasn't the guy. Mm-hmm. And then there's other times where the woman's like, oh, I'm sorry, I knew I made a mistake. I shouldn't have happened that way, blah, 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 blah. But, this is definitely a bias for me because of the demographic that I'm in, because this is something that the black men, it's almost a running joke, but it's not funny that, I mean, I was going to say a white woman will lie on you and literally you'll get killed. You know what I mean? It's been happening so frequently and so often among the black community that it's just kind of one of those things where you don't even want to talk to. I mean, not even like in a romantic way. You just want to be really cautious about your interactions and making sure that those interactions aren't private. Mm-hmm. That there's other people there to witness what you're saying. These are the kind of things that are that were definitely put into me as a child. Like, hey, don't do this, this, and this, and this. Make sure somebody's always there. Don't be around the corner in this situation. They lie on you, you go to jail, you get killed, you blah, blah, blah. And that's just kind of been our, anybody who's had any good home training, that's just one of the things that's like the police talk, for black men. When you grow up, that's one of those things. And so when I hear of, that people are saying, well, they should get the same punishment, I'm like, heck yeah. Mm-hmm. How many people are in jail or dead or, their whole reputation is totally destroyed and ruined? There's, stories of people getting their eyes gouged out and their genitals removed and all this stuff because of a lie, just a flat out lie. And obviously, some of that stuff you wouldn't want. The person might want revenge in the same kind of way, but I think those people should get locked up, whether male, female, or anything. If a person lies and says you stole their car and they're really just trying to do insurance fraud and you get in trouble for it,
it doesn't matter what crime, especially with how drawn out the legal system is. That whole time, it ought to.
You lose money, you lose time with your family, your reputation gets drawn through the mud. It's just a bad situation all around when there's a when there's an accusation of any kind. And despite what they try to tell us, our legal system is set up that you're guilty until proven innocent.
Oh, absolutely.
If you was innocent until proven guilty, I would be able to stay at home. I'd be able to, keep working where I want to work. You're guilty. They arrest you and lock you up until you're proven innocent. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you're literally assumed to be guilty until you're proven innocent. And so those type of situations where people are lying on somebody else are very detrimental. And I feel like if there is a consequence, people will be a lot less likely to lie. And I've heard people, their argument for the other side, and they say, well, no, then that'll keep people from, coming forward about what happened to them because they'll be afraid that they're going to be if they're telling the truth.
Exactly.
Then what is there to be afraid about? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Well, they don't want to. It's one thing if it's a mistaken identity.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're like, okay, it was a big, scary white guy and he had long purple hair. Well, and it happens to be a Comic-Con convention. Well, there's a lot of big, scary white guys with purple hair at Comic-Con. You know what I mean? So let's round them all up. Okay, that's, just mistaken. It sounded kind of like him. I accidentally chose the wrong person. And it actually had green hair and it wasn't purple. Okay, it was dark. I get that. But when it's one of those situations where who, there's so many instances that we heard of where it was a girl who had consensual relationship with one guy, but she didn't want to get him in trouble. In fact, I was a victim of that when I was in grade school. She didn't want to get him in trouble, so she lied and said it was a totally different guy. And in the case of me, she said it was me that did what her boyfriend had actually done, and I got in trouble for it. I had to, and it was found out later that it wasn't me, that it didn't happen the way that they said it happened. But it's just one of those instances where I'm like, oh, she needs to expel her, suspend her, give her, for saying that it was me, even though she knows it was her boyfriend the whole time, you know. And so even those type of situations, I think they should come down hard on them, because you don't have the right to use the legal system against somebody else just for whether it be a vendetta, whether it be fear, whatever it is. That's not what the legal system is there for. The legal system is, if somebody commits a crime, then we have laws that are designed to punish them for their infraction. It's not for you to use it at your own personal leisure, and that's the problem. So many people are using it at their own personal leisure. So I absolutely think that should happen.
Another thing to bring up, there has been a couple cases that were overturned and found out, and then the state forced to give restitution to those guys. I still don't think the money that was given to them will fix the situation, because not only did they lose money for being locked up for those 20 years or whatever, they lost relationships. You can't pay for those. They lost potential relationships. You can't pay for those. Family, they could have started a whole new family in 20 years.
Absolutely.
And all this was taken away by one lie that was perpetuated throughout the whole system.
And even to that point, people don't realize it, but your environment plays a big part. When you have somebody who is, 20, it doesn't matter the age, but when you have somebody who is 20, 21, or even younger, 18, 19 years old, and you put them in this system, like a prison system, and that is literally all they've known for their whole adult life, and then you just give them $1 million and send them out, like,
they don't know how to live on that.
They don't know.
Their concept of $1 million is from when they got out.
Exactly.
$1 million 20 years later from when they went in is a completely different $1 million.
And beyond that, they never owned a house. Most of them, even if they have driven a car,
if they were that young, they might not have ever even had an apartment.
Exactly. Never paid
learned
bills.
Any of the basic adult skills.
Exactly. They don't even understand to some extent. I mean, some of them are in there educating themselves, and they're, trying to make themselves better, which is beautiful. But still, experience is a big tool. Yes. And if you've never experienced paying bills on a regular, if you've never experienced what it's like to have to do any of the adult things that
and you jump into the world as an adult at 40.
Exactly. It's with a whole bunch of money. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're really getting set up for failure. And then you are. People don't realize there's a mindset of the people who are in prison. There's a criminalistic mindset. There's a reason why most of those people went to jail, because of the environment they were in. And so when you're basically raised in that mindset, it's hard for you to be a productive member of society when the things that are acceptable and allowed for you to do, and everything that and all the time that you spent, they're no longer acceptable and allowed and appreciated in this arena. And so it's absolutely devastating to young people, or it's devastating to anybody, but it's absolutely devastating to people in their life and their perspective on life and their future when you put them in those type of situations. And to have been in that situation as an innocent individual, have been put into that mind-altering, life-altering situation, all, like you said, because of somebody's lie or whatever. How do you pay that back?
I don't think there really is a way. But, like you said, giving that person the same punishment, it may not sort this guy out totally, but it at least gives some vindication for the system, that the system is actually fair.
Exactly. At least trying to be fair. At least give us one of these.
On the YouTubes. Right here, in YouTube.
Yeah.
Try it out. It'll make you feel really good inside.
You ready? Roll that beautiful music. Roll that beautiful music.
Peace, we out.
Roll the beautiful music that I played.
So once again, we rambled on down a different path and had to extend this to another video. So come check that out on the next Implicitly Biased.